Hello, welcome all my peeps, my chicken nuggets, my over toasted toast, all my friendos, everybody out there. I'm so glad that you were able to tune in and that we're going to be able to get together over this distances. I'm super sad that we're not able to meet together in our place on Wednesday night, but you know what? It's going to be okay. We'll get through this and we're gonna have some fun over the next couple weeks. Make sure to keep an eye out on social media, on Instagram and Facebook and all of that jazz, because we have some fun things that are gonna be going on, help keep you guys connected and help you engage you a little bit. So it's gonna be really fun. Keep your eyes out on social media. We got a lot of good things happening tonight though. We got I got a funny video I'm gonna show you. We got a game, I'm gonna tell you about a couple things, and make sure you stay tuned. At the very end I'm gonna show you how you guys can get entered to win a prize. So make sure you stay tuned for that. But really quick, before we get going, I want to show you guys something here, because you know, as there's this virus going around and everything, we want to make sure that you guys know how to wash your hands properly. So we're gonna watch this video, and I really want you guys, next time you wash your hands, to make sure you follow all of these instructions as close as you can, okay? Watch this instructional video. I really think it is super important for you guys to scream happy birthday. I mean, the louder you sing happy birthday while you wash your hands, the more intimidates the germs, the less germs are gonna be on your hands. The dabbing is successful, and I've been practicing my awkward stare up until now. So just wanna make sure you guys know how to do all of that and everything like that. Make sure you guys stay as healthy as you can. So, hey, we got a couple announcements I wanna let you guys know about. The first thing is that we've had a couple events for our junior high and our senior high that were coming up in April, and for right now we're going to say that those events are postponed. If the schools resume and everything happens on the track that it's supposed to, then they will resume on the same date they were supposed to be. But if it goes long, we're just going to postpone the events. So just keep an eye out on social media on what's happening and where it's all happening, so that you can know when and where to be, because we want you guys to have some fun. So the other thing is that Spencer Lake is coming up. Everyone loves Spencer Lake. It is such a great time. There's games, there's team competitions, there's fun in the cabins. It is just an amazing time. I highly, highly, highly encourage you to try and make it out this summer. We're going to 2 weeks, 2 different weeks for summer camp. The first one is senior high. That's June 13th through the 17th. Senior hires, that is your week. You want to make sure that you register for that week, because that week is just for you guys. It's going to be awesome. And then the next week is for the junior hires, which is the week of the 27th, if I'm remembering correctly. I can't remember the dates. make sure you junior high registers for that week. That's week 4. So week 2 is the week that senior hires are going to. Week 4 is the week that junior hires are going to. You guys get your own weeks. It's gonna be an awesome, amazing time. I highly encourage you to go. The cost is $253, but if you register by the early bird deadline, you slash $30 off that and it becomes $223. So make sure you register by the early bird deadline. You can register at this website or click the link in the description. Either way, it opens up April 1st. April 1st is when registration opens up. The sooner you get registered, the sooner you reserve your spot. So make sure you want to do that. If you have any questions regarding Spencer Lake, make sure you contact me. The last thing I want to let you guys know about is our t-shirts. I know that it's hard and we had the t-shirts form and now we're all gone, but here's the deal. There's a link in the description that is a Google form that is the t-shirt form. Fill that Google form out if you have not submitted a t-shirt request, that little piece of paper that we had on Wednesday nights. Fill that form out. It's really super easy. It'll take you under a minute to fill it out, and that will help you reserve a shirt. So make sure you go do that. All right, we got an awesome game for you guys tonight. It is gonna be fun. You can play along at home and comment the answers, or you can play with the group that you're with. If you guys are with a group of people, you can all write down your answers and see who gets the most right. Obviously, the most right wins. So we got a game called 3-Year-Old Pictionary. I don't know if you've ever had a 3-year-old draw you a picture with chalk on the sidewalk, and they're like, hey, look, I drew this for you, or I drew this, look how good it is. And you look at it, and then there's this thing on the sidewalk, and you're like, that's awesome, it's so original, and you have no idea what it is. And you're trying to guess what it is without absolutely crushing this 3-year-old's hopes and dreams. Well, we're gonna help you guys out, and you're gonna help me out. We're gonna try and figure out what these 3-year-old drawings are on the sidewalk, and we're gonna play some 3-year-old Pictionary. Remember, we're gonna go a little quick. You only get 10 or so seconds in order to submit your answer. So make sure you submit super duper quick, okay? You guys ready? Here you go, 3-year-old Pictionary. First slide, here we go. We have whatever this is. It's either a vampire, it's an angry cow, or it's Kelthun Sunstrider, Master of the Burning Legion. So, I just don't know. It's kind of confusing. It's a little confusing. Honestly, I have no idea. It could be any 3. Submit your answer real quick. You get 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and the answer is, it's a vampire. Obviously. I mean, why would you guess anything other than that? All right, next question. Here we go. Is this a crow looking for trash to eat? Is it a T-Rex with abnormal stick-like growth sticking out of his snout? Or is it a yawning deer? Which of those is it? Which of those 3 is it? I honestly could not tell you. My initial thought is A, but then I look at it more and I'm like, it could very well be C. But we'll see what happens. It is. So, all right, what is the answer? It is a crow diving for trash, which you can kind of see. Kind of. All right, next question. Is it a zombie rabbit? Is it a happy bat? Or, this is you, Daddy. What is it? What is this drawing? What is this 3-year-old drawing? Here we go. I don't know. I think I initially look at it and I think it's a prisoner. But here we go. Here's the answer. It is a happy bat. Note the smile on its face. How big and grinning this happy bat is. All right, here we go. Next question. Is it a 3-horned goat? Is it Grognax, the Lizard King of the North? Or is it a dancing gecko? What is it? Dancing gecko? Grondark? And you think that Grondark would be too too much for a 3-year-old. You obviously haven't spent not a lot of time around 3-year-olds because they can come up with some weird names. So is it Grundark or is it 3-horned goat? The answer is, it is a dancing deer. Notice the mild jig in its like feet. It's honestly, it's a dead giveaway. I don't know why would you guess anything other than that. Right, let's go. Next question. Is it a friendly centipede? Is it a superhero cat fighting the bad guys? Or is it the coronavirus strain? What did this 3-year-old draw on the sidewalk? I really hope my 3-year-old wouldn't be drawing the coronavirus strain, but you know, you never know with kids. Let's see, the answer is, it is a superhero cat. Notice the arms or fur. I don't know which one it is. I actually thought those might have been the bad guys it was fighting. I don't know. I don't know. Right, next question. Is this a pterodactyl or petrodactyl? Is it a dragon who's also a fireman? Or is it a rabbit relaxing in a hammock? What would a 3-year-old draw? If you had a 3-year-old and they drew this on the sidewalk, what would it be? Submit your answers below. What is it? I think I know the answer. I think I'm gonna say it's a dragon who's also a fireman. That's my guess. What is it? What is the answer? It's a dragon who's also a fireman. Wow, I was right. How? I don't know. I don't know. All right, next one. Here we go. Is it some sort of quail? Is it a T-Rex named Scott? Because I would name my T-Rex Scott, to be perfectly honest. I would name it Scott. Or is it just a plain old duck? What is it? It could honestly be any of those. Though, like, I don't know what the little things sticking out the snout are if it's a T-Rex. But who knows the mind of a 3-year-old? Who knows the mind of a 3-year-old? What's the answer? The answer is a plain duck. Quack. Okay, next question. Is it a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle drinking a smoothie? Is it mommy trying to drink her coffee? Or is it Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible 3? Which one is it? Which one is it? Submit your answers, quick, get them in, make sure you know what it is. Just go by your first instinct. When you first see it, go with it. All right, the answer is C. It's Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible 3. That's a children's movie, right? Little kids can watch that one, right? Right? All right, next question. Is it the sun blasting rays of death on unsuspecting beachgoers? Is it a creepy octopus giving a hug? Or is it Spider-Man? Which one of them is Spider-Man? That's my question. Is it the one that's like on the right that's Spider-Man, or is it one on the right that's, or right or the left? Which one is it? Is it the urchin-looking thing on the left, or is it the dude? I don't know. It could, with a 3-year-old, it could honestly be either of them. But let's find out. The answer is, it is the sun, which is really kind of dark, I feel like. It is really dark. Some of these 3-year-olds needs counseling. Some of these 3-year-olds need some help because that is a little dark. All right, next question. Is it a king holding hands with his best friend who happens to be a bee? Is it an alien taking a guy to be probed? Okay, hold up. If your 3-year-old drew this, whoever's 3-year-old drew this, you need that 3-year-old needs help. Okay? That 3-year-old needs help. Why? Or is the answer C, a huge fly whacking a man with a fly swatter? What is it? What is the answer? I really hope it's not answer B, because that's... What? Okay, what's the answer? The answer is... Oh my gosh, of course it's B. Of course it's B. Is this President Donald Trump, a Yeti singing opera, or is it Batman with a beard? Because you know Batman needs a beard. That's the one thing to improve Batman that you would need, would be a beard. I mean, I don't know why the comic book artists who've been drawing him forever drew him without a beard. I don't know. Which one is it? A, B, or C? Comment your letter A, B, or C. All right, the answer is, it is C. It is Batman with a beard. Because obviously. Okay, so those were some pretty crazy pictures, and those were really hard to understand. So I don't know, maybe if you have a 3-year-old, that's something that like you feel like your 3-year-old would draw. I don't know. I don't think those are outside the realm of what a 3-year-old could think of or draw on a sidewalk. But hey, I want to let you guys know about something really quick here before we end. Last week we started a series called Doubt It. And Doubt It, we've been talking about like kind of the doubts and questions that we have as believers. And today we're going to continue that thought, and we're going to talk a little bit more about doubt and questions. But really quick, before we do that, I have a video I want you to watch. Now, if you have younger siblings or maybe little kids, and you've probably seen or heard of the movie called Zootopia. Now, if you haven't heard of Zootopia, let me catch you up really quick. There's an officer that's a rabbit. Her name is Judy Hopps, and she's working this case that these intelligent creatures, these animals, are losing their mind, and they're becoming savage, and they're just like attacking things. And so she finds this big break in the case, and well, I'll let you see what happens.
I thought this was just a missing mammal case, but it's way bigger. Mr. Otterton did not just disappear. I believe he and this jaguar, they went savage, sir.
Savage? This isn't the Stone Age, Hops. Animals don't go savage.
I thought so too. Till I saw this. What? He was right here!
The savage jaguar?
Sir, I know what I saw. He almost killed us.
Or maybe any aggressive predator looks savage to you rabbits. Let's go!
Wait, sir.
So if you've seen the movie at all, you kind of know that we're supposed to side with Judy. We know that there's this thing that's happening, and we can believe her. But in real life, I don't know, like I feel like if I was there in real life, I would be really hard pressed to believe Judy. I'd be like, where's your evidence? How do you know this? It actually kind of reminds me of a story from back when I was in college. I was working in the housekeeping department, and I had a coworker. His name was Austin, and me and Austin joked with each other often. He would come to me and be like, hey, your supervisor, our boss, she needs to see you really quick. It's really important. You're in trouble or whatever. And I'd be like, oh no. And then I'd go to them, and they'd be like, why are you here? I didn't call for you. What are you talking about? And then it'd be like, oh my gosh. And I'd go back to him, and he'd be laughing, and he'd be like, hi, I got you. And then I'd be like, okay, I'm going to have to get him back. And so then I would get him back, be like, oh, there's this huge spill over there. Someone threw up. You're going to have to go clean it up. And then he would be like, and then he'd go over there and be like, I'd get him, and he'd be like, oh my goodness. And so we would go back and forth like this. He tricking me, pranking me, saying, hey, you need to do this, or this person needs you, or this is happening. And we would go back and forth, and it actually got to the point where he'd be like, hey, our boss needs to see you right now. And I'd be like, okay, where's the message? Where's the proof? Like, I'm not falling for this again. You got to show me that this actually happened. And then it would be the same with me. I'd be like, hey, you're needed in the office. And he'd be like, okay, is this really, like, are you lying to me? Are you fibbing to me? Like, I need the proof. And see, the thing is that, like, in most of our life, fact checking, finding the evidence, looking for the proof is not only like reasonable, it's like celebrated. Like you should have critical thinking and everything like that. But when it comes to our faith, oftentimes it feels like that's like looked down upon or shamed, or like you don't have enough faith because you need some evidence. And I don't think that's necessarily all the way true. I mean, yes, faith requires a little bit of trust on our side to believe, and a little bit of trust coming from us, but you don't need like a lack of evidence to have to believe or to have faith in God. Having faith in God does not mean that you don't have to have evidence to support what you believe. And I think that's a common misconception for some of us. So it's okay to have questions. Last week we talked about you are not alone in your questions. You are not alone. You are not the last person to have questions. You won't be the first person to have questions. But this week we're going to be talking something a little bit different. I want to show you two different individuals here in the Bible that had questions with God. The first one is in Judges 6. Now, I'm going to summarize it and shorten it really quick here, but if you want to go ahead, pause this video and read Judges 6. It's not that long. It's actually a really good story. I like reading it. It felt like a story. And if you want to go ahead, read Judges 6 and pause the video right now. Otherwise, what's going to happen is I'm going to just run through it really quick here. So what happens is that Israel messed up. They screwed up really big. And because of that, God kind of took his hands off them. And now they're being oppressed and they're being attacked by the Midians, a people from the east. And so they cry out to God. They're like, God, help us. And he's like, okay. So he sends an angel to Gideon. And the angel's like, hey, God is still with Israel, and you are going to help lead Israel back to God. You are going to be the guy. If you've ever watched like Spy Kids, that he's like, hey, Gideon, you're going to be the guy. But if you like read the story, you realize that Gideon has some questions. And not only does Gideon like have questions like, where are you? What happened? He asks for proof. Not only does he ask it once or twice, but he asks 5 times for proof from God in order for him to finally understand and to get it. And if you look at the story with the concept that asking questions is bad, then you kind of see like Gideon's actions are shameful or something that's looked down, or like he's of little faith. But I want you to realize something. When Gideon's questions are addressed to God like that, what does God do? God doesn't get mad. He gives him the evidence. He gives him the proof. Gideon's like, I need a sign. Stay here while I prepare this offering. And the angel stays there. He's like, I need you to do this. I need you to make the fleece covered in dew. And he provides that. And he's like, okay, now I want you to make the fleece not covered in dew. Make it completely dry. And God does that. He provides him the evidence. So there's one example. That's Gideon and how he goes. And God doesn't get really mad at him. But here's the other example. Our other person that we're going to look at is someone that doubted, so much so that he actually got the nickname of Doubting Thomas. You see, if we turn to John chapter 20, verse 24, we see the story of Jesus showing himself to Doubting Thomas. Now what happens is beforehand is that Jesus was crucified on the cross. Big thing, big story change, big plot twist. The dude that everyone's believing in dies. He's gone. And everyone's upset, everyone's mourning and everything like that. But then 3 days later, Jesus starts appearing to people. And Jesus starts appearing to different people. And then he shows himself to all of his disciples except Thomas. Thomas wasn't there when it happened. And so all of the disciples are like, oh my gosh, Jesus alive. He's back from the dead. And it's awesome. And Thomas is like, whoa. I don't believe it. That's too weird, it's too out there, I don't believe it. I'm only going to believe it if I stick my finger into his wounds. And it's like, weird flex, but okay, like, why? I'm not going to believe unless I can poke my finger into the wound in his side and everything, and it's just like, that's gross. But okay, and so what happens is that God doesn't get mad at Thomas. God doesn't shame him. What does he do? Jesus appears to him. He lets him touch his wounds. He lets him see. And he gives him the evidence that he needs to believe. See, did Jesus get angry at Thomas? No. Did he shame Thomas for not believing in him? No. Did he punish Thomas for needing evidence for what he believed? No. He revealed himself to him, and he said, here it is. Here's the evidence. Believe. And I think it's so cool that God just knows. God knows that sometimes we just need evidence. I mean, if you think about this really quickly here, the book of John, which is where we get this story from in John, was written 50 years after all of those events had happened. After Jesus had went up to heaven, after Thomas stuck his fingers through the nail holes, like after all that happened, it is 50 years after that it's written. And what's super cool is that there were people in the church, there were new believers, there were people that would never have seen Jesus, maybe even face to face, never have seen him, with the same questions that Thomas would have. Did he really rise again? Is that really true? And they needed some eyewitness account. They needed someone to be like, yes, it's real. I didn't believe it at first either, but it's real. It's true. And that story ministered. It showed the other people later down the line that, hey, you know what? Your questions are okay. It's okay. He's real. He rose again. And I think that's so cool that God would let us know, that would give us the evidence we need to believe. Although it might be surprising, I really want you guys to grasp tonight that God doesn't shame us for our questions. God doesn't put you down. He doesn't punish you. He doesn't say, nope, you can't ask that. You just need to believe in me. No, God says it's okay. It's okay to have your questions. It's okay to ask. It's okay to check. Here's the evidence. See, some of us are a little more skeptical than others. Some of us are not really jump on the board type of people, whether it comes to this new movie or whether it's the faith in God, whatever it might be. Some of us are a little bit more skeptical than others. And if you've taken any sort of personality quiz or even something about which Disney princess are you on BuzzFeed or something like that, you would know that all of us are designed, all of us are a little bit different. Not all of us think the same way. Not all of us process the same way. Not all of us experience the life in the same way. And I think God knows this, that some of us are more logical people. Some of us are extroverts. Some of us are introverts. Some of us like cheesecake. Some of us don't like cheesecake. Some people are super emotional people, and that's how they experience God. They experience God through their emotions and the feelings and the atmosphere and everything. And then some people are not like that. Some people are more logical people, and they experience God through reason and through thought and through evidence and everything like that. And neither option, none of those are bad. It's not bad to be more logical and to need to think through things like that. That's okay. And if I had to take a guess, I would feel that Gideon and Thomas were both more logical people, and they just needed a little bit more evidence to believe and to get there. And God did not shame them. God did not put them down for needing that. No, he provided it. He said, here it is. Here's the evidence. You asked, it's here. So as we go on today, I just want you guys to think about that. I want you to digest as we go through this next week. Hey, you know what? It's okay to have some doubts. It's okay to have some questions. It's okay to think critically about it, because what's super awesome and something that I discovered when I was in college is the Bible can stand on its own 2 feet. I don't need to defend the Bible. I don't need to prove it right. I don't need to be offensive or even defensive in my faith. I can just let the Bible do its thing, because people have tried to criticize the Bible for so long, but no one's been able to really logically prove it to be untrue. No one's been able to do that. The Bible can stand on its own 2 feet. So you can ask the critical questions. You can ask the hard questions. Doesn't mean the person you're asking them to knows the answer. But if you ask God more often than not, he will provide you with the evidence that you need. So as we go out into this next week, I want you guys to think about that, and I want you to kind of digest that a little bit more. So lastly though, right before we close, we got a fun little thing here. We have a prize to give away. I have a $5 Starbucks gift card right here. This card is going to be given away Friday morning. So what you can do right now is you can take your phone, your computer, your tablet, whatever you're watching this on, and you can comment, I want Starbucks, or comment your biggest takeaway from the lesson or the story that I just gave you, and comment on this video, and we will draw your name Friday morning for the Starbucks gift card. So there's that. The other thing I want to let you guys know is there's going to be another opportunity to have a prize next week. And this prize is going to be a little bit more next week. It's going to be a little bit extra special next week. Not super extra special, not AirPods level special, but it's going to be a little bit more special. So what's going to happen is if you don't follow NL Youth on Instagram, you can follow NL Youth right here on Instagram at NL Youth 906. Follow us on Instagram. What's going to be happening in the next couple weeks is there will be some story charades that's going to happen. We'll post the instructions on our story, but on our Instagram story, there will be things that you can silently act out by yourself or with your friend, just like normal charades. You're going to go ahead, you'll record it, and then you'll submit it. You'll reply to our story. And the video that is the most over the top, that is the most creative, that is the most funny out of all of the options, that video will earn a prize next week. So make sure you follow us on Instagram and pay attention to the story and have fun with it. Just be goofy, be okay to be silly, and just have some fun with the Instagram story charades. It's gonna be really, really cool. Next week, we're gonna see some of the best ones, and then the best of the best will win a special prize next week. Thank you everybody for tuning in this week. I hope you guys have an awesome night. Make sure to comment your biggest takeaway from the sermon, or say, I want Starbucks, and you'll be entered for a chance to win the Starbucks gift card. You're all awesome. I'll see you next week.